Welcome to Holiday JU and happy 3-day weekend. I think most of us are having them. But you know what? Time, as we have said before, is a flat chicken. So who's to say? Spencer Gilbert, what are you doing this off Monday?
I'm grilling, baby. You know,
Yeah.
got that grill going.
Oh, really? Like you leave where do you have a grill?
And I have a patio that fits one grill and about 2 chairs, and that's where I'm at.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, grill up that chicken, sir.
Yeah.
No, Starr, what are you enjoying on this beautiful day off?
Oh, instead of sitting in the northeast corner of my living room with my work setup, I am in the southwest corner, just slamming brews, baby.
Oh, sorry.
Just on one knee, pumping Zimas.
Sassy little biatch. Well, we want to be here in service to you every single day of the week. So here we are with a pre-tape talking about what you can look forward to on HBO Max, which is set to launch on Wednesday. But the question is, what does it have and what should I watch? Because the truth is, it has a lot of stuff. So we're going to talk about that really quickly. Price point without promotions, it's about $15. It's $14.99, but don't let that fool you. That is $15. HBO Now subscribers just get that grandfathered in if you are one of those. Some of the highlights includes all of the films currently available on HBO, including some Disney and Fox movies that will be available thanks to some old deals before the streaming wars. And now we are going to rapid fire introduce to you only a few of the many things available on HBO Max. And then we're going to talk about what would we watch. Joe Starr.
There really is so much. Okay, so out the gate are the big three like tentpole series that they paid so much money for. They paid $425 million for Friends. They paid $500 million for South Park, and for Big Bang, $600 million. And our Eric Goldman made a note, and I don't have the internet bandwidth to click the hyperlink because I don't want to get booted from my bad Spectrum internet. But he says it's maybe $1 billion depending on how you look at it. So maybe someday I'll be able to click that link and give you more context for that. So South Park won't be there at launch, but it'll be there starting June 24th.
$1 billion.
A lot of money. It's a lot of money for shows.
Spend on a show. But in addition to all of those US shows, they also have some BBC series, including the Doctor Who revival, which is everything since 2005, as you guys are very familiar with. The original version of The Office, Luther, and more. Spencer Gilbert.
You got your Studio Ghibli films, you know them, Princess Mononoke, you got that there, Spirited Away, Howl's Castle, it's always moving. It's that good stuff. It's that good anime, right, Joe?
Yeah, that good. Something, and then, man, we really are just hashtag adding this, but it is honestly like one of the things I really like about HBO Max is they're making me feel like I'm tricking other streaming services into getting additional streaming services by only paying for one, because they also have Crunchyroll and Rooster Teeth, which are like, C and D tier streaming wars contenders that I just get rolled into this, which I'm actually really excited about.
And in addition to that, they have Cartoon Network and Adult Swim series if you want something a little bit more saucy, like Rick and Morty, Adventure Time, Robot Chicken, Boondocks, and more. Spencer Gilbert, what else do they have?
More shows, Roth. Fresh Prince.
There's so much.
They got West Wing, The OC, Oh, What You Say, and It's All for the Best. Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars. I mean, what's not to love?
I don't know, but Joe has some more things to tell us about.
Oh, there's so much Arrow stuff. It's unending. So Arrow stuff that began prior to 2019 is still going to go to Netflix because of some previously existing deals. But anything after Batwoman, whoever ends up starring in it, for instance, will go to HBO Max. So we'll all find out who puts on that cowl and wig again together.
But wait, there's more. This episode, shockingly, not sponsored by HBO Max. We're just doing this crap for free. There is a massive amount of movies that we can't even begin to list. There's a bunch of lists out there because they essentially have the entire Criterion collection. They have their library, which was already massive. We've talked about that a lot from Warner Brothers. And I think that they had also absorbed the MGM library when they went bankrupt. But Ryan, fact check me on that. It's just a massive, massive amount of movies. Spencer, there's still more stuff.
Oh my God, there's more. They have their own originals. they're smaller than perhaps like a Netflix House of Cards, style thing, but you still got some Greg Berlanti action. He's making a Green Lantern series. He's making a Strange Adventures DC anthology series. Elizabeth Banks is, what is this?
They're doing like a superhero. DC's had a lot of luck with like
high school
DC bombshells and sort of like alt universe stuff, like high school stuff, and so I think it's sort of along those lines.
All right.
Really
J.J. Abrams is doing Justice League Dork.
Justice League Dork.
He's also doing a Shining spinoff. Oh my God, there's so many things. A Gossip Girl sequel series, a Dune series. All right, I'm back in, baby. They're doing a Dune series. Give me more
movie.
Bene Gesserit. Give me sandworms. Give me a sandworm high school show. That's what I want.
Sandworm High.
Sandworm High. A Grease series. And no Michael Schur comedy. He's the guy who made Parks and Rec and Good Place. A Gremlins animated series, hopefully for adults. The Boondocks revival. Actually, screw that guy. He didn't show it at a high school assembly he was supposed to speak at for me. So,
well, we can talk about Boondocks later. But oh yeah, remember, friends, it's the mother effing Snyder cut is also going to be available. So they definitely came to play. So let's just dive into it. That is not even everything that they have, but certainly that put us to the test. Netflix is still the biggest streaming platform. Disney Plus has come on strong with more subscribers than expected in less than a year. But does HBO Max combined library give them the notable fighting chance also to make a big impact? I think the answer is very clearly hell to the yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. There's so much stuff that I want to watch, but I worry that because Disney has like a brand around it, like you know what you're getting. This is just like everything. This is all the things.
Yeah, well, okay, but Netflix strategy is also all of the things, right? So,
yeah.
But these are all of the things.
Over, baby.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, an Annie appearance. We're not worthy, Annie.
She wants HBO. We actually watch Sesame Street on HBO Max. Look, Elmo. Can you say Elmo?
Mama.
Yeah, good job. All right.
Spencer, I like that. As far as we're concerned, you're basically like a Middle Ages, a Dark Ages king, who just in the morning someone brings in the child and you go, "Yes, you will be my heir."
I can't handle how cute she is.
She's very cute.
She's just getting cuter, Spencer.
I know. At this rate, she'll be unstoppable.
I know. I mean, she'll just have to take over the world. Thankfully, I think she's operating for the force of good.
Is she super excited about that Elmo talk show?
Oh, I haven't even told her about that yet. Yeah, she's gonna poop her pants with excitement.
Yeah, or just
quite literally.
because she poops her pants. Yep.
Hey, so that you did bring up a really good point, which is that unlike Disney, which has been totally like notably family friendly, so you could just plop your kid in front of Disney Plus and feel fine, which I bet a lot of people are thankful for right now. This isn't the case. It is a hodgepodge of many films and movies for serving a lot of different audiences. I think that ultimately that's going to serve them, because one of the big complaints about Disney Plus is like, oh, I actually don't want to watch anything here. This has things, I think they'll organize it probably by category. So it'll be like the Criterion Collection, classics. Like, I think they'll actually have it organized in a way that's very traceable. And plus, we've talked about, they don't have a lot of terribly exciting originals coming out at launch, but they do have Mega Monsters and Friends and all of those sitcoms that we talked about. And it's HBO, right? So HBO already has series that are premium series that you want to watch. So they've got the premium play, they've got the mass quantity play. This is basically Netflix, but with a better library, because it's films from all the way back in time.
Yeah, it is interesting though, the idea that like it's harder to sell the idea of everything than several specific things. Like Disney's able to sell so strong because they're just like Star Wars, Marvel, you get it, and HBO Max, like I was scrolling through everything just like, holy hell. But I also don't know how you like quantify that in an ad where it's like literally everything. What would you like to watch? It's probably here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things I think they talk about, I think, in marketing for streaming services is almost like No, this was a pitch I once gave. Was that to basically pitch yourself as the digital Cinemaplex of old, because those don't exist in our COVID world, but they will again. They will, people. Because it's like a movie theater doesn't have a genre, right? Like it doesn't have a type of movie. In the best experience, it has many, many kinds of movies for all different kinds of audiences. So I think we've gotten locked in, because Disney is such a powerful brand, into the thinking that you should only be one thing. But I don't necessarily agree with that. There were lists on, there were wildly different movies listed there that all of them were interesting to me. No?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for the Criterion Collection alone, again, that's where that sort of like, we're cheating a little by giving you some extra value, because like the Criterion was its own streaming thing for a while, or someone was making it available. All of our shows and information are starting to bleed together for me now. But
yeah, sorry, I was just distracted because Billy dropped in the SJU Slack that Zack Snyder fans are doing like the Beatles style bonfires of their old theatrical cut discs of the Justice League. There's compilations of them smashing and burning their old Justice League.
They're doing a old fashioned puritanical book burning of
sorry, I got a little distracted.
Is Joss Whedon okay? Is there proof of life on Whedon? Because I'm wondering if like someone's going to take that "thank you for releasing to the Snyder Cut" plane, and just like after it goes over the lot, they're just going to like hunt the man down.
Yeah. It feels a little mean to Joss to burn.
Poor Joss. I mean, not really
poor Joss, but
well, I don't know.
Anyways, they're getting the Snyder Cut. That's all that matters. Split into 8 episodes, split across 4 months to maximize subscribers.
Here's what I presume. I presume that is a very small portion of the fans that actually wanted the film to be released, and it does not represent that fandom enlarged by any stretch of the imagination. Because the thing about burning anything, like a book burning, is like you paid for that. You
That's a good point.
You paid for that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think anyway.
Owned.
Yes, totally owned. The best was, this is very niche and very just for me, but a couple years back, Warhammer, my modeling the little men that I paint.
Joe.
They revamped their lore, and the same thing happened. All these super fans like were burning their models, and you're like, these are so expensive. Like,
you have to buy them all over again.
Yeah, like I mean, they're not like, I think there's like 40 on my table over there, and that's like $300 worth of models, and people were like burning things. And yeah, I don't understand that need to set stuff,
destroy things you own, to like, it's like when you would order a coffee at Starbucks and be like, my name is Donald Trump. It's like, I dare to say it, like, you bought the coffee.
Yeah, now you're just gonna look very silly as they say Donald Trump and you take that coffee.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry, Roth. We're talking about
no. I'm thinking,
what do you like on HBO Max?
Circumstances in which that would make sense to me. I mean, honestly, I think we've talked about the Snyder Cut before, like yesterday and the day before.
Yeah.
That's going to be a huge. I'm truly going to watch that. However, that wasn't the first thing that I gravitated to when I was looking at the list of films. I think you guys probably know, I basically had the same feeling that I have when I walk into a Sephora. Like, if you ever just want to put me somewhere because you need to go run a different errand, and you just like as if I was your 3-year-old, just needed to know I would stay in that same spot, you just bring me to a Sephora. And I will be there in the 3 hours later when you return, and I will be just as captivated. That's how I felt looking.
You will still be on the waiting list to talk to an employee to help you pick a foundation.
I don't need help, Joe. That's like that place is my freaking mecca. But I felt the same way similarly 2 other times. One was in, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but it's true. There's a film and television museum in Berlin that's like amazing. I want to live there. And then looking at this list, it was. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with myself. Should we start a movie club? Should we just go through alphabetically? I'm overwhelmed. I'm delighted. Spencer, I need you to start.
Oh, okay. Why don't I start with one that's just gonna absolutely please nobody and clear the feed.
Hey, before you start, talk about direct relief real quick, and then we'll start.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being with us every day. Subscribe to our channel for videos every weekday. Hit that like and hit that bell for us. We love you. We need love too. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. New recommendation video out tomorrow. It's going to be exciting. It's all I'll be there for recommendations. Greg Nicotero, Hey Fandom, this coming Thursday. That's going to be at noon. It's going to be super fun. You can ask your questions. Zombies, why don't they have nails? I don't know. Or do they have too many nails? Or are their nails too manicured? The point is this: you can ask anything about zombie manicures that you need to know. And this is all in support of direct relief. Walkers, thank you. All support of direct relief, coordinating medical workers all over the world to help and assist those right at the front line of COVID. We're so grateful for that. Spencer, which should I watch?
Well, look, you'll appreciate it, Roth. It's a movie. It's in the Criterion Collection called La Cienega that I love. It means the swamp. And for lack of a better analogy, it's like a less cinematic version of Roma. It's like a less plot-driven Roma. You're in this vacation home with this rich family and their support staff, and the rich family are decrepit alcoholics who are bad to their children, and the support staff is doing the best they can to like keep things going. And it's just, if movies are a way to instead of telling a story per se, than to just like live in another world, it feels like Grey Gardens, almost like you're just in this sick, like this, it says the swamp, like you're in this really sad, decaying place with this family for 2 hours. And it's not one of those movies that you're going to want to like throw on for a fun afternoon, but it is incredibly affecting. And the sound design is so incredible. It feels like there's never a moment when you're not like surrounded by the sound of like crickets and rain and just like the noises of nature and a swamp. It's just like very, very unsettling in the best, most beautiful way. So I would watch La Cienega first.
Yeah, it's also one of my favorite streets in Los Angeles. Hi, Sarah's ear. Joe, what are you and Sarah going to recommend?
We are going to use HBO Max to correct a horrible gap in my movie watching, because scrolling through now we wake up. Okay. Scrolling through the Criterion Collection list, which again, I agree with both of you. Holy hell. It's just a lot of stuff. I've never seen Lady Snowblood 1 or 2, and I've never seen the Lone Wolf and Cub series. And they're movies where I'm like, I've always meant to watch those, but they're also movies where I'm like, how many steps do I now have to take to see Lady Snowblood? Probably several. Probably have to go somewhere, I have to borrow it from someone, I have to figure out who I can borrow it from. But now, thanks to HBO Max, I can be a lazy human being, never move, and fill in these horrible gaps in my watch list. So I'm genuinely excited about that. That'll probably be the first things I watch.
I just want everyone to note that Joe soaks himself in catnip every night.
Look, I'm desperate for love.
Or Sarah likes.
And if I have to roll in tuna in the morning to do it.
You eat marmalade out of the jar with your hands like Paddington.
God, I love that bear. It's one thing that service is missing. Hey, Spencer, give us another.
Look, times are tough. No matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, it might be a good time to revisit the Battle of Algiers, which was a film about the Northern African occupation of Algeria by France, and it was they used a lot of non-actors and people who actually lived through that revolution. So accurate a depiction of guerrilla urban warfare that it was banned for many years because it was basically an instruction manual. So check it out. It's a really cool, suspenseful, thrilling film. It's shot documentary style, and it's based on real events, and it has real people in it, but it's a movie. So I think it's really a real interesting thing. It's not like super edgy, like, oh, I'm reading the anarchist cookbook. It actually does have a story and compelling characters, but it's most notable because it is literally it was thought to be a manual for insurrection in an urban environment. So
you know
worth
what
your
the
time.
original manual for insurrection in an urban environment was?
What's that?
We call that the Revolutionary War. And
Yeah.
we kind of invented it. Hey,
Are you saying that you're excited to watch The Patriot starring Mel Gibson?
Yes, exactly.
as far as I know, they don't have that film. However, unfortunately, sadly,
shouldn't
Joe
be.
and Sarah, I wanted to say two quick things. One is taking you guys bursting through the fourth wall, is that occasionally Ryan will do hand claps. And I've learned it's Pavlovian. I now crave it. And I feel like I've done something good. It's like a little gold star. So effective with, thank you, Ryan. I'm going to give you one of mine. I basically was so overwhelmed by how many wonderful movies there were, is that I broke some down into categories. And the first category is, because the world's on fire, let's feel good. And here are some recommendations in that category. One of my favorite, probably my favorite Coen Brothers film of all time, don't judge me, Raising Arizona. I love that
It's
movie.
great.
Yeah, no judgment.
For a fun musical romp, Little Shop of Horrors is available to you.
Fantastic. Best comedy cast of all time.
It really is. And this is the 1980s one. It's the remake. Both are good, but the remake is my favorite. So Singing in the Rain is also available to you for a classic film. If you want to watch a very sweet classic Charlie Chaplin comedy, it's City Lights. Watch City Lights. It's amazing. And then, because we talked about this the other day, Time Bandits is a Terry Gilliam film that I used to watch all the time as a little kid, which probably explains a number of things about my personality.
100%.
But I highly suggest Time Bandits as I don't know if it's a little surreal to be totally warm and fuzzy feel good, but I think it's a joyful time romp. Okay, Joe, give us another one.
Well, after a string of Algiers and Singing in the Rain and just some really beautiful Chaplin classics, I'm just so excited to have a 90s day where, in the spirit of all those beautiful classics that you just mentioned, I show off a little bit of, my culture. And I cannot wait to have a day where I just binge Hackers, Broken Arrow, then Muriel's Wedding, then Practical Magic, and then Grosse Pointe Blank. That's going to be my 90s day. And I'm very excited for it.
Holy shit. Sorry. Oh, whatever. Anyway, the point is, I love the fact that you mentioned Practical Magic for so many reasons.
Practical Magic's a really good movie.
It's a good movie. Come on.
It's a very underrated witch movie. I like that movie.
Yes. Thank you, Joe Starr. I'm going to watch it.
One of the more underrated witch movies. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is a genre unto itself.
Sensor Gilbert, what else you got?
Well, look, I know we just got through watching Hackers. We're going to watch Hackers again. Joe, you took my pick.
I'm so sorry.
We're watching of this service with so many things on it. We both picked Hackers. Look, anytime you can spend more time with peak Angelina Jolie and her first husband, Johnny Lee Miller, also known as Zero Cool, also known as Crash Override. And then, why not invite Acid Burn along for the ride? Why not hang out with The Plague? Why not Serial Killer?
Yeah.
These are all of my best friends from that era, and they should be yours too. If you haven't seen Hackers, strap on your roller skates and do it. Roller blades. How dare I? Strap on your roller blades, grab a CD-ROM out of the window of a limo, and just keep going on.
Might be a hot take, but better call signs than Top Gun.
Wow, that's tough, man. Going call sign.
I don't know about that. They're both really good, though.
Yeah.
Oof. I mean, Zero Cool or Goose, man. I don't know. There's just
yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
If we had a show where we shouted at each other about art for points, that would be a good.
Maverick versus Lord Nikon.
You know what I mean? Also, how many times have you said "Talk to me, Goose"? A lot.
Yeah, but
answer to that question.
How many times have I said, "Hey, you guys want to go to a bathroom stall and hack"?
Yeah, how many times have I said "hack the Gibson"? Many.
More than Talk to Me Goose is my guess. I'm going to run you guys through a couple of quick categories that I have subdivided in my spare time because I can't help myself. And then over the next coming weeks, I think we'll pick some to watch and talk about a little bit right here on this show. So Great Predictor Network, ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest films of all time, never stops being both entertaining and terrifying. Highly recommend you watch that film. Because you wanted to like 50 Shades, or you weren't sure how you felt about, like, some feelings were coming up around 50 Shades of Grey, I think were happening for you. I'm going to recommend some actually good films that will help you to explore those feelings. Belle de Jour, incredible classic. In the Mood for Love, absolutely gorgeous film. Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, one of my favorite directors of all time, Pedro Almodovar, directed this film. It is disturbing and hilarious all at once, as only Almodovar can do. Because you love Star Wars, basic, Hidden Fortress, you should watch it, though. You should watch all of Kurosawa. Because conversation is our only connection right now. Watch My Dinner with Andre, and also because Spencer Gilbert loves that movie. Because you're here and you comment on the internet. We're all here on the internet together. So watch Lord of the Flies, you animals. Also Throne of Blood. So you want to be in show business? You might want to rethink that after you watch The Player. And to get a sense of the original and then the Neo, watch The Postman Always Rings Twice, and then Body Heat, and then for a little bit of a lady spin, Diabolique.
Woof.
I actually have more categories, but that's all we'll do right now.
Some great recs.
No, seriously, very good list.
I got to go back and take notes.
There's so many good movies.
The Criterion Collection stuff alone like puts it over the top for me.
It's worth $15.
HBO is already really good.
We didn't even get into my just because I said so list.
Well, but it does, now that I'm sort of like looking at the big picture, because I've always been like, really, they went with HBO like as I get that that's sort of your flagship like prestige brand, but it always surprised me that they weren't going with like Warner Brothers,
Peacock,
Supreme, or Water Tower, or
I don't think.
But I think with this list, with the context of like what the library actually looks like, I think HBO best represents like what this is
a home box office.
Home box office.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, also HBO, I think we know Warner Brothers. I mean, Joe, you definitely do. You worked there. But I think in terms of brand recognition, HBO probably is their strongest brand.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
And Warner Brothers, if it's not Warner Brothers, then you're going to have some tech douche call it Flea Flu. And we're gonna have to all watch Quibi Flea Flues or whatever for $17 a month.
R.I.P. Quibi.
R.I.P. Quibi. Yeah, gone too soon.
Gone quicker than 15 minutes, which was weird.
It was a quick bite of a service.
It was a quick bite of a service.
The real question: should we have given a lot of recommendations today? We're doing Friday look back reviews, and probably these aren't necessarily all the films that we would do in that review day. We will probably be looking for more current films and also some look backs of more notable titles that more people will be able to weigh in on with us. But should we truly like pick one to watch and talk about it at some point next week? You want to?
Yeah, sure. Well, okay. Are we all already? So we're doing both Avengers movies?
I think we are. Yeah.
And another movie? That's a lot of movie, Ralph.
A lot of movie. That's a lot of movie for a group called Screen.
Yeah, they're too hard. I'm watching 3 other movies this week that are coming out next Friday.
I mean, hard to watch for the viewer. Like, you've talked about two movies, and then you're going to review another movie on the same day. Like,
that's a lot of movie. How about we could even do like a comeback and let's do our schedule planning on air. Good show.
Yeah, I'm opening up the Google Doc. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, you know what?
I think you're onto something though, Roth, and we will figure it out.
Yeah.
How about this? How about we talk about this then when we're not on a camera? Everything looks the same right now. It's all
this looks like our meeting.
This does look like a meeting.
All right, so I just want to say I'm really celebrating Joe and Spencer for the work that they've been doing in this difficult time of COVID, really coming together and taking ownership, killing it as always on Honest Trailers. And is this not our team meeting? Yeah. But that is for you and for the public as well. Thank you, Sarah, for always being here. Thank you, Annie, for bringing joy to everybody's life. Thank you guys for being the friends on the internet that are. You know what you are. Who's the good guy in Lord of the Flies? The one that stayed true.
Piggy.
Oh.
Well, Piggy was one of them. No, Piggy was one of them.
Yeah.
He had Asmar.
Say it again.
He had Asmar.
Is
That's
that
what
like?
they call
What's that?
That's what they called his asthma in the book.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, Lord of the Flies. You guys are the. I didn't want to
ASMR?
say. Yeah, I was going to say that, Joe. I was going to be like, you guys are the piggies of Lord of the Flies. But that's not what I wanted to say.
My
and
little piggies.
I can't believe that I just recommended a movie that I cannot remember the protagonist's name of. So I'm really embarrassed, but I'm going to look it up right now.
You know, one of the flies. Jeff Goldblum.
In the 1990 remake, I do remember this off the top of my head. He was played by Balthazar Getty. Balthazar Getty played Ralph. Ralph was the hero of Lord of the Flies. And in the wild, wild, wilds of the internet, you guys, my friends, are Ralphs and Piggies.
You guys are my Balthazar Getty. I hope he hasn't done anything bad.
I had such a crush on Balthazar Getty. Okay, bye. But he was so cute.